Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. I don't normally stream on Fridays, but we're here nevertheless. So, how are y'all doing? What has been going on in your lives, and most importantly, what's going on tonight? Rocky made Minecraft mod over the last few days. Ooh, do tell. What kind of a Minecraft mod was it? Um, while Rock tells us that, I we went shopping yesterday, or I went shopping yesterday, and went to M&S, which is a fairly posh supermarket here in the UK. And I went there because they've got some of the best like seasonal stuff. If you want seasonal stuff, you go to M&S because they do some good things. And this is one of the things I picked up. Milk, chocolate, and cinnamon tortillas. As in, like, think Doritos. But these are milk chocolate and cinnamon flavored. This is what they look like. And you know, I thought I'd try them. Astana, hello, how are you? So yeah, it's it is this is chocolate and cinnamon tortilla chips. It looks so good. It smells like chocolate and cinnamon. I mean, no kidding. Not surprised there. So let's see how it tastes. I am honestly not certain about this because I would have thought, because my sister used to do cinnamon tortillas. She'd do like she'd get white flour tortilla, white flour tortillas. She would cut them into triangles. She would deep fry them and then coat them in cinnamon and sugar and drizzle like chocolate over them. And that's what I thought that these would be, but these are corn tortilla chips, not flour. And they're salted. So instead of sugar and cinnamon, it's salt and cinnamon. And I am not 100% certain about these. They are very weird. They're definitely weird. Rock, you added various features surrounding the Watchers. It's currently on its second beta version. Ooh, nice. That sounds really cool, Rock. Optane, happy Thursday. It's not Thursday, Optane. It is 100% not Thursday. Although, if you really want it to be Thursday, we can say it's Thursday. How you doing, Optane? You alright? Rock, are we not playing 69 hours of Fortnite? No. No, we are not. In Astana, it sounds like Smash or Norwegian-type salty chocolate snack. I love Smash, okay? I absolutely love Smash. These do not taste like Smash. I think it's the... Yeah, they just don't taste like Smash. Smash is way better than these. I will take Smash over this any day, to be completely honest with you. I will say these definitely need more chocolate, though. 100%. They're not too bad. I mean, they're growing on me, you know. I think it's going to be one of those things of the more I eat, the better I like them. But they're not horrible. It's just, this is probably not something that I'm going to buy again. However, if I find a bag of Smash in the supermarket, I'm 100% buying those. Freaking love Smash. Rock, drown them in some sake, problem solved. I'm out of sake, Rock. I don't have any more. What I do have, though, is a nice big bottle of Asahi. which is a Japanese beer. So I've got that. Rock or that. I am not a beer drinker. Yeah, I'm not that big of a beer drinker. I like the weird, some of the weird microbrewery ales, but every once in a while. But I'm not like a major beer drinker. But Asahi, I love Asahi. I don't know why. I just do. So anyway, my friends, what are we doing tonight? That is a good question. I'm dropping food is what we're doing. But no, we're playing The Sims 4. We're going to go into The Sims 4. We are going to work on the interior of our haunted mansion. And at the end of tonight's stream, we are going to be finishing the man in the brown suit. Who here is excited about finishing the man in the brown suit? Astana? Yes, I love Smash. It's really nice. Game Mistress and Smilebringer. Because they're from Sweden and Norway. They've lived in both countries. But yeah, they will, when they come over to the UK, Game Mistress sometimes brings me Norwegian goodies like Smash. Mostly Smash, I have to admit, is what she brings me because I always ask her to bring me a bag. And Smilebringer just likes trolling me by by giving me salty licorice. So yeah, it's really nice. Game Mistress is awesome. So I have to admit though, I haven't seen her in forever. I'm gonna have to rectify that. I'm definitely gonna have to rectify that. I keep telling her that I'm gonna go over and visit her, but things keep coming up. It's like she was in the middle of a move last year when I could have gone to visit her, and I wanted to give her time to settle in her new place and all of that stuff. And this year has been absolutely hectic. So, all that stuff. Asana, I don't like salty licorice. No. No, I do not. And Smilebringer bought me like a kilo tub of salty licorice a couple of years ago, and then he kept topping it up. He'd send me like a half-kilo bag like once a year for like 2 years. And I'm just like, I don't eat this stuff that much. But I would eat it. I used to eat it on stream. When someone would sub, I would eat a piece of salty licorice. But I started getting used to it. I still didn't like it, but I started getting used to it. So I stopped eating it on stream. And all the stuff that he sent me went off. So Rock gives me war flashbacks. It's not that bad. Come on. Not that bad at all. Astana, very nice. It was fun while it lasted. I'm gonna have to come up with something, eventually to do at some point, because it's like I've done spicy things on stream. I've done sour things. I've done salty things. I've done the bean boozled, the weird flavor. You don't know what you're gonna get. Is it gonna be good or bad bean? So, and I can't think of anything else to try, to be honest. Rock, what was the worst stuff that I used to eat on stream? The bean boozled. 100% the bean boozled. The bean boozled was bad because some of those flavors were just rank. Especially when you when I'd eat like 2 or 3 beans at once. That was just the worst experience ever. However, saying that, there were bad things about all the rest. The chili chocolate, I got the spiciest chili chocolate I could find. And that stuff burned. So while I enjoyed the chocolate, I didn't really enjoy the chili bit, especially if I forgot that I had been handling stuff with chili in it and rubbed my eyes afterwards. You know, that was never fun. The sour stuff was very sour, and it like broke one of my teeth at one point because I chomped down on a piece of sour, hard sour sweet, and yeah, it broke my tooth. So I stopped doing that, as in eating the sour stuff because it was wrecking my teeth. So I had to stop doing that. It was just one of those things. Astonished snails. Oh no 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 no. At one point, I did try. I drank. Was it for charity? I think it might have been for charity or something. But I drank mushroom coffee. I tried both. Like drinking mushroom coffee, like drinking a cup of it. And then for some reason, I decided, wouldn't it be funny if I just ate a scoopful of it? Like the cinnamon challenge, only it was powdered mushrooms. That was so, so bad. It really was. That was the worst mistake that I have ever made while live on stream. It was hilarious, but it was also so gross. Rock, you forgot all about the mushroom coffee. Hi, McLeod. How are you? Opting. What about just something pleasant? Just Muir has a delightful treat. I mean, when I got a nice jelly bean, those were nice. It was the nasty ones that weren't very good. A stand-up mushroom coffee sounds good though. No. The stuff that I got was not nice. It tasted like dirt. As in like literal dirt. It was so bad. It was really bad. I tried a mug of it because I was trying to cut back on caffeine, and I'm like, okay, well, this mushroom coffee says that it's, it gives the same amount of energy, just not, no caffeine that coffee does, and it's a good coffee substitute. So I'll try it. So I mixed up a mug, nice hot water, mixed up a scoop of the mushroom coffee powder, and it was just like drinking a mug of liquid of mud, of a very watery mud. It was so bad. Hi, Paul. What's up? Are you all glittery? Did you take a shower? Use my body butter again. Yeah. Ooh, look how shiny Paul is. you, I know you do, mate. I don't mind you using it. It's fine. Do you want to try some? It's not spicy. It's chocolate and cinnamon. Here, let me give you a small handful. There you go. You have all of that. Yeah, cinnamon is good. He's gone now. Rock, you think you know the real worst thing I ever tried? The slushy? The slushy? What do you mean the slushy? I like slushies. Slushies are good. Rock, what was the other thing that I said I ate as a kid and I ate it for a charity goal? Oh yeah, was it the bologna chocolate syrup and bacon sandwich? That was actually really nice. Thank you very much. That, I mean, as far as, me remembering from it being a child, like 12 years old, that wasn't bad. I didn't think it was like one of my favorite snacks when I was a kid. And retrying it as an adult, it was still good. Oh yeah, Rock. Yeah. The slushy that I put some xylitol in, but it made me so sick I couldn't stream. Yes, because I put way too much xylitol in the slushy. I mean, it slushed. Just never use xylitol a 1-to-1 substitution between xylitol and sugar. Don't do it. Your guts will not like you. Trust me on this. Bees, hello. Sorry you're late. You're at the chiropractor getting your spine poggered. I'm sorry to hear that. Or is it, I'm happy to hear that? It depends. Did he fix your back? Did the chiropractor fix your back? Because if so, then I'm happy for you. If not, I'm sorry it happened. It's kind of like, have I ever heard people talk about don't eat Haribo? No. What do you mean don't eat Haribo? Haribo sugar-free gummy bears? Why don't... Oh, is it because too many of them make your guts go all royally? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Anything sugar-free. You don't want to eat anything, too much sugar-free stuff, because sugar-free stuff contains artificial sweeteners, and if you have too much artificial sweeteners, then yeah, your stomach and your guts do not like artificial sweeteners. So always have that kind of stuff in moderation. Bees, Haribo sugar-free gummy bears make your colon... yeah, exactly. Although, in totally the wrong way. They make it do too much. Do too much? Sorry. I'll be quiet now. Anyway, shall we go into The Sims? Like, every time you hear someone talk about eating sugar-free gummy bears, they talk about, like, eat bread to prepare for a day stuck on the toilet. Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's how it works. That's why on the packet of any sugar-free sweet, they're like may have a laxative effect. Do not eat more than like 5 a day or something like that. Because yeah, your body does not like it. Rock, what exactly does getting your spine poggered mean? It means that Bees went from a ouchy back to a very nice relaxed back. At least that's how it's supposed to work. It's not always how it works, but it's how it's supposed to work. Okay, so what are we doing? We are going into The Sims. We're going down here to my 2025 creation save. And we are continuing with the Haunted Mansion. That's what we're doing. Rocket sounds about right. Okay. I'm also going to get rid of these tortilla rolls, so I'm not, like, eating them all during the stream. I'm probably going to give those to Paul, to be honest, because I'm not super keen. Okay. So, first of all, how is our sim? Okay, his needs are absolutely fine. So, just as a recap, this is what we've done so far for this build. We have a nice abandoned-ish looking mansion with ivy and wisteria growing over the top, and also some dead ivy as well growing up it. I probably could do a lot more just to give it that completely overgrown look. We've got the Halloween decorated fountain. We have our little pond over here that... There we go. We've got the pond over here that has the little waterfall. And all of the bugs and everything. We've got lots of fog machines around, which, to be honest, I could probably get rid of the fog machines, like shrink them down and hide them. Hey. We've got all of the spooky bubbles. and the furniture bonfire. Bees, happy birthday. If it isn't your birthday, it is now. Okay, cool. And then back here, we've got even more fog machines. A small little bunch of, gravestones. Tons of flowers, lots of trees, and a crypt. So yeah, we did quite a bit over the last time that we streamed this game and the time before that. So now we're gonna go inside and we're going to work on the interior and see what we can do with that. Ruck, you would hope my Sims needs are fine considering I haven't really played them. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. There are times, and I have no idea why, but there are times like when I've gone to play, I've created a brand new household, I've moved them into a lot, and then I hit play and suddenly their needs are all at like 50% or less. It's just surprises the living daylights out of me, and I don't know why it does it, but it does. So there you go. Rock, it's not, but it totally is. I'm turning 69. I'm not turning 69. I am. I am totally turning 69 in like 21 years. Opting the interior is where all the haunting happens. Where most of the haunting happens. Let's be honest. It's where most of the haunting happens. So to start off with, I think we should probably do some doors, just so that we have, doorways leading into all the different places where we need doorways leading into. I think that makes sense. Bees. I make you pog like a frog in a bog in a fresh fallen log after a jog with some eggnog. Rock, did you hack Bee's account or something? I don't know, did you? I should hope not. I think you're being, it's called being a bad influence, Rock. Opting don't jog after eggnog, top tip. Yeah, probably not a good idea to jog after eggnog. Especially if it's alcoholic eggnog, because, that's just not gonna work. Definitely not gonna work. Okay, so this is the entrance way. Basically like the reception room. And then this is gonna be the kitchen, so we're just gonna make a simple door here leading into the kitchen. And we want this to be, nondescript, just a boring door. And then we're also going to make, I was going to say we'd put this boring door here in the, actually, yeah, we will. Why isn't it not? Okay, there we go. Nope. All right, let me put my cheats on. Move objects, please. Thank you. And then hidden objects and all that other stuff on, please. Thank you very, very much. Okay. So now that I've done that, I can grab this totally nondescript door if I can find it again. You know what? We'll just do that. No, that. Thank you, game. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so we're gonna put that door there. These are just, these are doors leading into places where, the lord of the manor would never have gone. So just small little doors that basically say, pretend I'm not here. Okay? Rock more like a Pogger influence? You mean what? 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 Why Pogger influence? McLeod, draw a door. I mean, technically, these doors are drawn. If you want to get technical, someone had to draw them to create them. So, all right. So let's see. So we got that. Then we've got the ballroom here, and we want this door to be, grandiose. Because yeah, I think an archway is probably going to work. So let's see. Let's check out some archways, or like the this double door here. I think what we'll do is this grand double door leading. See, are there any like, swatches that kind of look a bit worn? There we go. That one is a worn swatch, so we'll use that one. Going from the kitchen into the parlor, or the ballroom, as I'm gonna call it. McLeod, it's a film reference. What? Okay, what film? Please tell me what film. If it's anything from like 1995 to present day, chances are I've not seen it. Right, then we want a grandiose looking arch going from the entrance into the music room / ballroom / whatever you want to call it. Now I'm thinking maybe the Sylvan Spiral large archway, but I'm not 100% certain of that. We'll start with that, and then we'll see what other ones that we've got to look at. See how it goes. McLeod, Beetlejuice. Seriously, the draw doors from the is a Beetlejuice film reference? I love Beetlejuice, and I don't remember that reference. Wait, or do I? I think I might have to watch Beetlejuice again. I think it's been too long since I've watched Beetlejuice. Rock, I've seen every film from the beginning of time all the way to 1994, confirmed. I watched a lot of films growing up, from like, if it came out in the late 70s to 1994, 1995, chances are, there's a good chance that I've seen it. But from the time that I graduated high school up until, well, I came over here, and even now, I haven't watched that many films. Astana, have I seen the movie Weird Science? It has been a good, like, 2 decades or longer, probably longer. I'd say about like 30 years since I've seen Weird Science, but I have seen it. It's hilarious. It is also not aged well, but it's still hilarious. McLeod, it's when they get trapped in the loft and oh, yeah. Okay. You've tickled the little memory in my brain there, McLeod. They literally draw a door, don't they? I remember now, vaguely, but I do remember. Okay, let's see. Still looking at possible doorways. I'm not really happy with this one because it looks too bright and cheerful. But to be honest, I think that's probably going to be the best one. Because all the others that we've got are not appropriate at all. So we'll have to go with this one. And yeah, we've put it right up there against the corner, so that should be okay. I am tempted to swing these stairs here on either side. There we go. That doesn't look good, does it? No, it does not. Can I do that? No, that doesn't look right either. Gosh darn these doors and being annoying. Fine, we'll leave them like that then. I don't like it, but I don't have much of a choice here because unless I shrink the dining room by 1 and then move these stairs over like that, I think that works. And of course, that means I also have to move this. Cannot intersect with... Oh. There we go. Okay. That works. Yeah, that definitely looks better. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. Ruck, should you watch the movie? Which one? Beetlejuice? Yes. You should 100% watch all of the Beetlejuice films. Just saying. And the cartoon. 100%. You gotta watch it. You should also watch the movie Weird Science. Bees, you're talking about sugar-free gummy bears, and now you've got an ad for probiotics. Believe you, Twitch, you have less trouble going than most people. Oh my gosh. That is scary. That is very, very scary. I like it. I really like it. Okay. So, we've got the doors down here in the bottom, so let's go ahead and... Sorry, not that. Let's go for walls. Now, I am thinking that we should probably go with rock and stone or masonry, just because this is a manor house, and, you know, chances are, you know, the walls were either plaster that was painted to look really fancy, or it was stonework. So we can definitely go with like a painted stucco, or we could go with like a stone and like this type of stonework. Or we could go with a fancy brickwork, but that's not quite the era. Let me think here. Let's have a look and see what we've got. We've also got the Tudor style, but that's more... Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. And there aren't any, like, dirty swatches of this either. So, like, if I... If we cycle through the swatches... Yeah, there is not really a dirty swatch of these, or broken swatch, which is really a shame. To be honest, I'm thinking maybe this Riviera cobblestone would look good. Like this. At least in the entranceway, and then we can cover it with like lots of wall coverings and stuff. So that and cracks and holes. So that would look good in here. And then we've got the kitchen, and the kitchen, we want like the drabest thing that you can think of. So I'm thinking the masking moss stucco would go really well in here, because you can see that it's all grody and like it's almost like moldy walls. So I'm thinking that in the kitchen will look really nice. It almost looks like dirt, this particular swatch. Absolutely love it. Rock, have I heard of the music? Yes, I really wanted to go see it, but unfortunately, it didn't come up. Hasn't come up here to the north yet. So, Bijou like the part in Tim Burton's award-winning cult classic blockbuster film Beetlejuice, when John Beetlejuice, CEO of Juice, says catchphrase and everyone laughs. Oh my god, I like it. Rock, Muir only likes the dirty swatches. Also, still a good quote, though. Still a good quote, Rock. It might be the wrong quote, but it's still a good one. Okay, so the dining room. The dining room is going to be more like opulence. Even though this is supposed to be a ruined home, ruined, abandoned home, I still want to go with a more opulent look. So, like, paneling, something super duper fancy. And I really wish that these fancy swatches had more, disgusting swatches, if that makes any sense. So I'm thinking that we could probably go with something like the Dashing Deco. Kind of like this. For the dining room. I am going to put tons of holes on this, so it's not going to look brand new for very long. Don't worry about that. Rock. Continuing with the quotes, we all love... What? I just put 3 balls in my mouth at once. We all love balls. How many quotes do I have that's talking about balls? Oh my gosh. I'm a whore for Sims 4 for swatches in The Sims 4. Yes, there we go. Yeah, I wish you could do keywords with Fossabot as well. It sucks that we can't. Dirty swatches, disgusting swatches. What's next? Smelly ones? I mean, if the Sims 4 team made a swatch that you could smell, I would be all for it. Just saying, just saying. All right, so in here we need opulence. Even though I'm going to absolutely ruin it, we still need opulence. So let's see what we can find. I'm thinking the perilous paneling that looks like this. Look at how just, I mean, isn't that gorgeous? That is beautiful. So if I can find a swatch that, isn't too bad, maybe this one. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's nice. I really, really like that. Okay, so we've done the walls down here. We're gonna do one floor at a time, or one story at a time. So we've got the walls down. The flooring should be either like it should be stone here in the entryway. Nice stone, don't get me wrong. There should be a little bit of like opulent tile here, and on the floor and over like a stone flooring. The kitchen, definitely 100% stone. The dining hall needs to be a little bit more opulent. And in here should be, I'm thinking wood in the dining hall and ballroom. So Rock, I'm in a quote store I have about balls a lot. And if I decorate my Sims house with smelly swatches, your Sim in live mode will actually smell it and get a very uncomfortable moodlet. I mean, there are a few swatches that do have an uncomfortable moodlet attached. They're not very many. I think there's only one, possibly two, but they do exist. I think. I want to say that's true. By the way, when I start furnishing this, I am 100% adding in items that cause uncomfortable moodlets, just because I think it'd be hilarious, to be honest. All right. No. So there is one thing that I want to look real quick for decorations, and I think it's under rugs. I want to say it's under rugs. See if I can find it. I think it's the high school years pack that I'm looking at or wanting to look at. It's basically a rug that is looks like it's made of mosaics, like mosaic tiles. So I need to find the correct, I need to find the right rug and the correct swatch for it. None of those. It's definitely not that. Nope, those are all definitely rugs. There is this from the Get Famous pack. So it might be Get Famous that I'm wanting. Rock, uncomfortable +4. What's that smell? Sim doesn't know where that smell is coming from, but they won out. Oh my god, I love it. Cindy, hello! How are you doing? Glad to see you. You stopped by to say hi. You know I'm going to beautify this with cracks and holes. Don't forget holes in the floors. Yes, thank you so much for the reminder, Cindy. We're definitely going to ruin the floors as well. You have to, don't you? You kind of have to. When you're building an abandoned house, you really need to just completely mess it up. And I'm really glad that over the last few years especially, the Sims team have really been going in with some good things, some really nice, disgusting, grody things. Now this, not that one. This might work. Can I shrink that down? Ooh, I don't want pink though. I do not want pink. Let me try to change that. No, actually, looking at this, no, I don't. It's the right idea, but it's totally the wrong colors. I don't like that at all. Bees, you're at the store and they have HP sauce. Is it worth $8.49? Depends on how much you like steak. HP sauce is only good for steak. You have to, and it is nice though. So if you like steak, then I would recommend trying some. Now this might work. It's from that too. But that's actually really nice. I kind of like it. Let's continue looking through the rugs and seeing if I can find anything that fits a little bit better, but I do like it. Cindy, use one that's red and cream with the flowery patterns like you see in stores hanging. I'm specifically looking for something that is fancy and, you know, like mosaics. This might work, but I think it's not quite. It doesn't have the mosaic look that I want. It's close though. I keep finding things that are really close, but not quite. And the thing is, you also, when you're looking at especially rugs in The Sims, you have to remember to look through all the swatches, because in the rugs especially, there are hidden swatches. I mean, like, for example, you know, the default swatch of this is this bird, and you think, okay, well, all the swatches are just going to be different colors of this, but they're not. You got that as well. So yeah, you got, definitely with rugs, you need to look at the swatches. Cindy, you like this one? Yeah, it's really nice. Again, trying to find. Nope, that's not gonna be it. Nope, that's too modern. We got the ancient circle of bunny, but that's a bit too Aztec. Although I do love it. Absolutely love it, but yeah, it's not what I'm going for. Oh, these are really pretty as well, but again, not quite hitting the mark of what I'm looking for. I'm definitely going to go with some of these Victorian floor rugs from Vampires when we, you know, actually do the proper flooring. These are your splash pads, and yeah, they're not going to work. These aren't going to work either. Piece of Paradise mosaic. This, I think, is what I was looking for. Yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for. That. Gonna have to get rid of that, though, because we want to save money. So something super fancy like this, and then I'm gonna put, like, hopefully the holes and stuff that will overlay on top of the rug. But I absolutely love this. It's because it's just so big, and it's definitely a look at me, I'm rich statement, you know. McLeod House is a parliament sauce. Oh dear. B's HP sauce is just British A1. Actually, I think, is HP British or is it American? Because I swear I used to use AP sauce over in the States. Maybe it is British. Maybe I've lived over here so long I can't remember. My memories are getting my memories of the States are starting to cloud over. Bees, since I'm from the USA, am I still saying vitamins the right way, or am I saying it the UK way? Considering I think that answers your question right there. I'm definitely saying vitamins, not vitamins. McLeod, it was British until they moved elsewhere. True. That is very true. Okay, so flooring. We've got the nice, gorgeous mosaic that I was looking for. So now let's go for actual flooring. And I said I was going to go stone in here. So I do like looking through the tiles sometimes, because sometimes you do get more stone-like tiles. We're definitely going to go with the rough and tumble tile in, like, you know, parts of this house. I mean, like, for example, that looks pretty good, I think. Definitely, you know what? I think we're gonna go with that because that is definitely the vibe that I'm wanting to go for, and it does look a bit ruined as well. So I like that. We will go with that for the entryway. Hold on, I've got the world's worst itchy nose right now. Cindy, love, aw, thank you. Bees cries. They're vitamins because they're vital minerals, not vital. They're vital minerals. Minerals. They're vital minerals, yes. Rock, what's next? Do I use the metric system? I still think in pounds, ounces, and inches, if that helps. Everyone over here is like, you know, the old centimeters and millimeter, you know, and I'm just like, how many centimeters is in an inch? 100 centimeters. It's like, okay, how many inches is that? Please tell me, because I don't freaking know. Rock, United States be like, what the F is a kilometer? Yeah, yeah. No lies, no lies. Bees, you're not saying American pronunciation is correct, but it is, only for the word vitamins. Vitamins. You gotta take your vitamins. Right, let's see. I think maybe the straight and proper stone for the kitchen. Again, because it does look quite worn. So we'll go with that. Also because there's no real worn stone in here that looks, you know, like worn enough. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Unless we can find some really drab masonry. I mean, we got the... Ooh, that might work. Oh, yeah, that's much better. The broken stones from the Jungle Adventure kit. Or Jungle Adventure pack, sorry. That definitely looks better. I like that one. We'll go with that one. I don't think there's any better ones. No, that's pretty much the best that I'm going to get. Linoleum is definitely no, because linoleum didn't come out until like the 50s, I think, or 60s, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm almost tempted to go with this, like just here and there. Just to make it look like some of the tiles have completely, you know, come off. Yeah, yeah. That's pretty cool. I think we'll go for that. Okay, so the dining hall. We want the dining hall to be wooden flooring and kind of posh. Not like super duper posh, but fairly posh. I am thinking maybe the styled parquet. Nope, not that one. That swatch? No. Let's go with the phantasmal parquet instead. And we'll go for the more dirty looking swatches. So, nope, that's two. That one? Yeah, that one. There we go. Cindy, you were born in 59, right about the TV time. Barbie was made in the same month of... the same month that you were born? And the year? Okay, that's pretty cool. That is really cool. I remember when I was really little wanting a Barbie doll, and my family couldn't afford it because we were pretty poor. But by the time that I was that age, um, we they started coming out with um, the not Barbie dolls. The cheap knockoff versions. Um, so my parents bought me a couple of those instead. They lasted about as long as you would think they would. So for the dance floor, Cindy, yes, you're old and you were poor as well. Yeah, never got the expensive toys. Although I have to admit, I was spoiled my own way. My we never celebrated birthdays or Christmas when I was really little. Um, I didn't have my first Christmas until I was 12. I think I was 12 when we celebrated my first Christmas. And I was 13 when we celebrated my birthday for the first time. And that was a fun birthday because my grandma took me to Merrimack Caverns in Missouri. And she didn't go with me, but she paid for me to to go on a tour of Merrimack Caverns. And I met this couple during the tour, and told them, we got to talk, and they're like, "Oh, why are you, are you touring Merrimack Caverns all by yourself?" And I'm like, "Yeah, my grandma doesn't like caves, so she's outside waiting for me. But she knows that I like caving and stuff like that, so she paid for me to go on this tour for my birthday." And they're like, "Oh, it's your birthday," and this really nice couple bought me the souvenir group photo. So they take a group photo of everyone that went on the tour, and you can purchase it at the end of the tour if you want to. So yeah, they purchased the photo for me for my birthday. And then when we got back home, my mom had gotten a cake that had a unicorn on it. With ice cream, and I got some presents and stuff like that. So it was a pretty good first birthday on my 13th birthday. Cindy, yeah, absolutely adorable. And your mom made everything as well. Yeah, my mother was really big on making everything from scratch. Basically, I mean, her mom and her grandma, my great grandmother, always made things from scratch, so she learned how to do it that way. She didn't start, taking shortcuts until she started working. She worked like full time, and I was 15, I think, 15 years old, and she admitted she confessed during Thanksgiving that to my sisters and I that she had been using shortcut methods of cooking, like instant mashed potatoes, for like 4 or 5 years, and we never figured it out. Um, she only brought it up because my sister is like, "Mom, I really love your mashed potatoes. They're so much better than the instant stuff. You can't beat homemade potatoes." And my mom's like, "Well, I've got something to tell you." And it was like the family drama of the year, that my mom confessed that she uses or that she used to use instant mashed potatoes. Such a scandal. The imperial system of measurement makes no sense because there's only 3 countries left that use it, and you would assume they'd be closely related countries, but no. None of them are even near the others. It's the USA, Libya, and Myanmar. Wow, okay. That's interesting. Rock, come to think of it, you think saying posh is another British thing because you don't know if you've heard any... Yeah, it's totally a British thing, yeah. Rock, that's a Pogger grandma moment, 100%. McLeod, they are homemade. They're made at home, so therefore they're homemade. Oh my god, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna have to use that line, 100%. Right. What should we go for the floor? I'm thinking that, but I think that might be a little bit too, maybe that? Yeah, we'll go for that. That floor here in the, you know what, that's too dark. Why can't we have a nice pinkish floor? You know? No, not that one. I'm looking for a specific color. That one. That one will work. Okay. So I'm being overly picky, I know, but it's fine. So now I want to go ceilings in here, and I definitely want to make the ceilings. So we'll go with the styled parquet and the dramatic parquet for the ceiling tiles. So in the kitchen, yeah, in the dining room, we'll go for that for the ceiling, and we'll go ahead and do that for the ceiling there as well. And then here in the what is it called? The dance hall. Sorry, brain. We'll go for that pinkish one. You know, the reddish pinkish ceiling, which I think will look really nice. And in here, I don't want to go fancy in the kitchen. So in the kitchen, we'll go with just like a really rustic wood. And I'm thinking probably the slim cabin flooring, even though it's not old-fashioned looking. It has little cracks between each floorboard. So I just like the idea that the Lord of the Manor was so cheap with the kitchen that it's like the subfloor of, you know, the flooring from the rooms up above, and he just didn't bother plastering over the ceiling or anything, because who cares? He's not going to look at it. It's only you know, it's only the servants go into the kitchen, so he doesn't really care. Cindy, it would be fun to chat sometime off video. It would. If you ever find yourself in the UK, please, actually, I don't even know if you do you live in the UK, Cindy, or where do you live, if you don't mind me asking? I always assume that people live in the US or the UK, because that's where the vast majority of my audience is from. I mean, we get the odd person, you know, from a few people that are frequent to this channel from you know, from Norway, from Sweden, from Canada. I think I have one or two people from Germany that watch me, but that's about it. The vast majority, I'd say like 97% of my audience is from either the US or the UK. So, Cindy, you're from Montana. Cool. That's awesome. But yeah, if you ever find yourself in the UK, definitely let me know. Okay, so let's just check these rooms out. So there's the ceiling. That looks really good. I really like that. That is a great ceiling. It really is. Okay, anyway, let's go into the entranceway and take a look. Yep, that looked... Pardon me, I've got the hiccups. That looks good. Very nice. Then if we go into the dance hall, the ceiling here, yes, that looks really good. And then move here into... I'm at the height of like a 10-year-old or a 5-year-old here. Let's go up a little bit. There we go. The dining hall. Oh yeah. Definitely nice and stately. Loving it. I will, of course, get rid of those ceiling lights. But for now, it looks pretty good. Okay. Cindy, a beadboard, they call it. With that wooden ceiling, yeah. So nice. Hold on, I need to catch up. Rock, would I say my grandma was a pogger? My great-grandmother, my mother, and my grandmother were all pogger. 100%. Bees, you got the probiotic ad again, and it's a probiotic supplement for women's health. You guess you're a pretty princess now. Rock, Australia too. Yes, Australia. And New Zealand. I do have... There are a couple of people from New Zealand that I know. Is it weird that like... Is it a weird thing to say that, like, a low-key goal of mine, it's not something that I am actively trying to get, but it's something that's one of those, it would be nice type of things. You know, if I had one regular from every country in the world. You know, I mean, like someone from China, someone from, you know, France, someone from Germany, so on and so forth, you know. I just think it would be really, really cool. All right, so I have to admit, I'm looking more at the things for the kitchen. I know I'm going for the kitchen, for the dining hall, and the music hall, more than the entryway. So I'm just going to ignore the entryway at the moment, and I'm going to make up the kitchen. We'll start, you know, decorating that up. So for the stoves, and here's where I really, really wish that we had medieval style things for stoves, because there is nothing in stoves that is medieval looking. I mean, we've got the iron stove, which is more, you know, more along the lines of like 50s. It's very 50s, that stove. It looks like an Aga, which is a wood pellet. It's a wood stove that burns wood compressed pellets. Used to be very, very popular here in the UK. Thankfully, they've gone out of style because they are totally not good for the environment. But yeah, that stove does look like an Aga. We do have the wood-burning cook stove here, which, to be honest, is probably, if I go with the rusty one, is probably what I'm going to end up using for this kitchen. Mainly because, like I said, there's no other, there's nothing that looks like your standard fireplace kitchen. And they really need to make one. We really, really need a fireplace cook stove. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, right? A proper fireplace that our Sims can cook on. We do have this. This is a campfire cooking surface, but it only goes over a campfire. Now, saying that, having said that, what I could do, is put a campfire down. I'm going to put this over here for a minute. Cindy, use our imagination. Sometimes you do, yeah. So if I do this, and let's raise the flooring up, or not the flooring, the walls up a bit. So if I put this like right here, and then build a wall, or make That would be a bit that would be a bit too much, I think, if I did that. I was gonna say I could use rocks and build a stone fireplace, but I think that's a little bit too time consuming and too over the top. To be completely honest. But I could use the campfire cooking surface. We could totally do this. And then I could use some walls and put, stone on them to create a type of fireplace, something that looks like a fireplace. So let me see real quick about doing that. It might work. I am going to have to test it, but it just might work. So if I go in with the half walls and we do place half wall by drawing. I think this might work. VIPs, thank you so much for the hydrate. Appreciate it. How are you doing? Muir has completed the Friend of the World aspiration. I like it. I'm doing just fine, thank you, some VIPs. Really, really glad to be here tonight. We're working hard on this. We are not going to finish this build this week. We're not going to finish this build next week either, because I've got some bad news for you all. We are not... Actually, you know what? I'm thinking maybe of going with a slightly taller wall. But yeah, we're unfortunately not going to be able... I'm not going to be streaming next week, just because next week's schedule, real-life schedule, has gotten so freaking hectic. We're doing Monday night streams next week, which is Fortnite. But Tuesday, I've got a thing that I've bought tickets for that I can't miss. Wednesday, I'm taking Paul to Light Night. And Thursday is Board Games Night. So, and I'm not sure if I'm doing anything on Friday. Let me just double check my calendar. Next Friday is the 25th. Okay, yeah. Whoops, no, wait, that's Saturday. 24th. There we go. Next Friday is the 24th. I could stream next Friday. So if we have next week, if we do a stream on Monday night and Friday night, we can totally do that. So we'll come back to The Sims 4 next Friday, a week from tonight. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just real life schedule has just gotten so hectic. Right, I need something to put over this, and the best thing is going to be... Part of me wants to use this. The Crumbling Ruins trim, but I don't know. No, it's not going to let me. Yeah, it's not going to let me because it's a wall sculpture. Okay. Let me go with objects by function, decorations, and go with... There is a shelf that I could use. I really want something that looks like... Okay, that's a table. That might work. You know what? I think I might be able to use this. If I can raise it up. Then I might be able to make this look like a mantle. It's going to look like a broken mantle place, but I can 100%. I think this might work. it might just work. Unless I can find something even better. But for now, this will work. Yeah. Oh, I like this. This definitely makes it look like it's really crumbled and broken. Oh, I really like this. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. And then I want like a shelf or something to go over the top to make it, like make it look like a wooden lintel. So to do that, I need to find either... There's a couple of things I can use, and it's finding those couple of things that's going to be a right royal pain in the neck. Actually, I kind of want one here, so it looks like pieces of it fell off the... This is going to be a very interesting house. 100%. Ruck. No, everyone's crying. No crying. Bad. Bees in The Sims, every place is a fireplace if you place the right item next to a rug. True. Very true, bees. Ruck, we will have Fortnite on Monday, and then I'll be able to stream on Friday as well. It'll mean that I've got something going every single weeknight next week, but it'll be fine. Sim VIPs. I am really far with the... I'm good on the outside. It's the interior that is gonna take me ages to do. Mainly because the I'm you think I was bad with the with the exterior, as in, adding details. With interiors, I am so bad. With adding little bitty tiny details, I'm constantly... I'm just gonna... This is me. This is like 90% of the streams, or my content when I'm building is scrolling through debug like this to find one little item, and it's like it's in my brain and I know what it looks like, but can I remember the name of it? No. So it's like me scrolling through debug trying to find this one little item. Cindy, that's okay. I appreciate that. It's so annoying though, because I can see it. I can see the item in my head. I know what it looks like. The thing that I'm looking for, I know exactly what it looks like. But I can't remember if it's a wall decoration, a sculpture, or a shelf. So I'm just gonna have to look through these, everything, and see if I can find it. Okay, so it's not there. It might be under Misk, so I'll have a look under Misk. Rocky thought I was gonna say ours. No, not going to do it. Sim VIPs, do I play The Sims then, or only build? Oh no, I play The Sims as well. But I love building in The Sims. I get in the zone. When I build in The Sims, it's like meditation for me. I will, and I have done this. Please raise your hands if you've done this in The Sims as well. You start off at 9 o'clock in the morning with your coffee or your cup of caffeine or whatever, and you start building. And at 3 p.m., you look at the clock and you've realized, crap, I haven't had anything to eat all day. I haven't moved from this chair all day, and I'm still not done with this build that I'm doing. I have been there. I have done that. And it's just like my little happy place. It is 100% my little happy place when I build. If I manage to get into that zone. Cindy, it might be in the jungle pack. Ah, that's a good shout, Cindy. Thank you. I'll have a quick look. Okay, so I don't think it's under decorations. I think it might be surfaces. And I think it might be displays. Is it this one? Is this what I'm thinking of? Is it the Immaculate? I think it's the Immaculate. Yes, it is. Okay, and I want the stone-colored one, which is the default. Okay, so we embiggen it twice, which is just the right dimensions. And then using the 9 key, I raise it up to just there. Okay. Although, to be honest, I'm not 100% certain that I like that color. So we're going to go with that one instead. There we go. Okay. So we've got that. We've got the mantle, you know, the stone mantle. What I like, or what's, like the, oh, what is it called? The facade of the fireplace, you know, the fancy facade. We've got that going on. And now I am going to go into packs, and I am going to go to look in jungle, because Cindy has just made me realize, and made me hope anyway, that one particular thing that I would love to do is see if I can find a vertical version of this to put here in the front. But I don't know if there is... Temple column. There we go. I am going to have to shrink it down. And alt place. But... it works. It 100% works. Just very carefully place it like that. And this one no, get, yeah, over. There we go. Need to bring it around like so, and are you gonna be nice to me? Are you gonna be nice? Are you gonna be... yeah. Come on. Come on. Be nice. Do what I want you to do. No. No, stop it. You're not gonna be nice, are you? No, you are not. Okay, fine. Fine. Yeah, stop it. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to put it like this because the game is like, no, Muir, we're not having it. Unless I can find one that... will work a little bit better than this corner. Okay, wait, maybe this one? Let's try. Let's try it. Alt place, carefully. Get it. Yeah. Aha! Oi! Oi! Stop it. Stop it, game. Hold on. Arguing with a computer program. You know, as you do. Yes! Okay, that worked. That definitely worked. Whew. Cindy, you play 12 hours a day. You've lost 8 pounds. It can look broke. Yeah, it can definitely look broke. And it does look broke. And I absolutely love the fact that this looks so as broken as it does. I am definitely all for this. To be honest, this is how my brain works. I'm like trying to come up with a solution for something, and my brain just goes, it just whispers. I just have these little whispers in my brain going, use this thing. There's something in this pack that will work perfect for this. And you know, I have to obey the voices in my head. Which sounds really weird when you think about it, but there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the solid stone blocks, and I think we'll go with this. For the fireplace. Oh yeah, that looks good. And I'm also going to put that like so to make, to make the inside of the fireplace look the same. And then I think what I'm tempted to do is go back into the columns and do the go with debug and grab these, because these are debug. These columns here are debug. So if I can find them again, yeah, here they are. It's like if I can find the debug columns, then I can put one right there, and then another one on this side. Unfortunately, the game is like not being nice. There we go. And there we are. We now have a little bespoke fireplace that you should be able to cook in. So if I have my sim, this is me testing because I do want to put this on the gallery for you all. So if I have my sim go over here, and we'll see if he can. Stop chatting with other sims, dude. Hold on. I gotta catch up with chat while we'll do this. Cindy, you've lost 8 pounds. Wow. I wish I could lose 8 pounds. Seriously, I'm like 20 kilos overweight, which is like, what is it? It's like 40 pounds overweight or something like that. And I just cannot gain the weight, to be honest with you, or lose the weight. Sorry. I've been trying to lose, and I know this isn't helping, but I have been trying to lose weight for like so many years, and I lose it. I go down from 75 kilos, is how much I weigh now. I'll go down from like 75 kilos and go down to like 69, which is nice. See what I did there? But then I'll have like one slice of cake, or I'll stop exercising for one day, and within 48 hours of me getting down to that 69, 70 kilos, I'm back up to 75. And it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Cindy, you go so focused as well, yeah. And you'll catch me later. No worries. You have a wonderful day, Cindy. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. So catching up with Twitch chat. B, you're finally home so you can actually see the build now. Sweet. Sim VIPs, you're bad at building. Cindy, you just eat a good meal once a day. That's about what I do. I have gotten into the habit now of having 2 meals per day, just because my blood sugar level is absolutely terrible. So if I only eat once per day, my blood sugar level drops. But if I eat twice per day, then my blood sugar level stays good. It stays at a healthy level. So I'm good with that. But yeah, if I have to be very careful with how much or how little I eat because of my blood sugar. But yeah, it's my main meal is my evening meal, and it's always like a really healthy, a really healthy meal. Usually plant-based. Tonight though, I had chicken. I had a chicken curry tonight, which is quite nice. But there you go. So anyway, catching up with Twitch. Rock, yeah, I play the game. Sim VIPs, you're bad with building. So was I when I first started, but I just started practicing like this. Bees, how do you like the build so far? VIPs should like to play the game and like to see others build houses and download to play in it. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Let other people do all the hard work, right? Bees, you can't wait for me to visit this place on the next live mode stream. I would, but this isn't a totally different save than my normal live stream stuff. In my gameplay, that is. I could probably put this into my portal saves, portal challenge save though. Once it's finished. Rock, you, but not just building, you mainly play. Some VIPs, you do that when the new pack comes out. Just go total zone. Yeah, in the zone. Rock, you'll build for a pretty lengthy amount of time if you're building an entirely original house, but most of the time is live mode. Yep. Bees, me building a house is definitely a union job if it takes this long. And you like that I say embiggen? It's a perfectly cromulent word. It is. Embiggen is the best word. It is one of the best words. And VIPs, yeah, it's with move objects. Yep. Move objects on, shrink things down, and alt to place. Is the only way to do things. Bees, also, you heard that I won a viewer from every country. Drops a VPN machine on the counter. That's cheating. It's cheating. Rock, nya nya aha oi. Do the voices in my head ever go like Pogger? No, just you. Okay. Oh dear. Opting, just put a pound-size hole in one of my pockets. What? What? Pound-size hole in one of my pockets. Bees, kilos? Why do I measure weights? It's the British. It's the British, because over here everything is in kilos. What is it? A kilo is 5 pounds. So there you go. Do the maths, because I refuse. Opting, you just watch other people build. It's so much easier. If I want to lose 8 pounds, put a pound coin-sized hole in my pocket. Bad opting. Bad. A kilo is 2.2 pounds. Okay. I told you I don't know what a kilo is. Okay, so yes, I was gonna have this guy cook. So I want him to cook. Light, please. Can you light the fireplace? Yes, he can. Can you cook in the fireplace? Can you make a campfire chili? Yes. Yes, you can. Also, how freaking cool does that look? That looks good, right? I'm impressed. I am impressed. I have impressed myself. I am so happy. I'm happy that works. Opting at 75 kilos is 165 pounds. Yep, that's how much I weigh. And I need to lose at least 20 kilos of that 165 pounds. However much that is. I'm like, where is that voice coming from? And I've just realized that I have it on live mode. I'm like, I can hear a guy laughing. And I was legit this close to freaking out. It's like, I can hear a guy laughing. Where is that sound coming from? Is someone on Discord and is trolling me or something? But I'm like, no, I'm not in a Discord voice chat. And it's that dude there. Rock Bro is shocked when the thing he built actually functioned in the game in the way he intended. Yes. 100%, because I am so not used to things that I make like this actually working. Rock, it was you! Deadbees, heh heh heh, Yabahorn. Often given the way Sims can go, a little surprise is probably warranted. Yes, 100%. So we don't need that. We can get rid of that. So we've got that, which is fantastic. So now, we're gonna do counters, and for the countertops, I want something that looks, you know, proper old. So like a wooden countertop. I'm tempted to go for something like this, even though it's metal framed. And let me tell you why. It's because it's got this really thick butcher block top on it. So even though it's not exactly period, you know, it's not fantastic. There's no, I think it'll work, to be honest. I think this will work. So I want to go with that. And this is the only butcher block countertop that we actually have in The Sims. That's not gonna work. That might work, but I think it's a little bit too fancy. And then we've got this rust. Oh, wait. That's even better. Okay, yeah, we'll do the rustic counter. Not that one. This one. This one is definitely much better. Especially like that one. That's perfect. That almost looks like it's been burnt. Okay, yes, we will 100% go with this. So I'll do a left end piece. And then a tile counter. And then a right end piece. So we've got that going. And then we'll do more over here. So we got, again, the right end piece. The counter. Do any of you actually bother using the the fancy pieces here? Although that's not the swatch I wanted. That's the one I want. There we go. So yeah, with countertops, by the way, I don't know if you all knew this, but with countertops, you can either do automatic counter placement. So if I turned that on, you notice that all of this disappears. And if I start placing counters, oh, hold on, that's not gonna work. Okay, so yeah, if I go tile, and then automatic counter placement, there we go. And I start placing the tiles, then you notice that this tile that they kind of start, there we go. This tile here, once I move it around, automatically turned into a corner tile. And it's great doing the automatic tile placement, but at the same time, it kind of sucks because it doesn't give you the end pieces or anything. So if you turn automatic counter placement off and you go into the detailed stuff, you get all of these new, all of these different pieces. So you get your left end piece, you get your inner corner, your regular tile, your outer corner piece, and your right end piece. And a lot of them are different. So, you know, like this one is actually shelving. This one is a drawer and a cupboard. And then you got your double cupboard, and then of course the corner you got, you know, your little tiny drawers and a little tiny bin there. But yeah. So there you go. A lot of people just leave it on automatic, but I like having the extra stuff. Rock, I should go in VC when I'm on stream because you think it'd be funny if you could join voice chat for like 2 seconds. Go like Muir Pogger, Muir Pogger, Muir Pogger, Muir Pogger. Muir Pogger A. Are we playing Fortnite, Muir? Hey Muir, are we playing Fortnite? That's what you would do. That is 100% what you would do, isn't it? You would go, hey Muir, are we playing Fortnite tonight? We're playing Fortnite, right, Muir? Right? Right, Muir? Rock's like, maybe. Update. That is an incredibly accurate Rock impression, to be frank. I love it. I love it. Rock, and then I'd be like, yes. Yes. Okay, anyway. What I'm trying to do right now is make a... I think it's an inner corner that I want. So, hold on. Let me... Yeah, stop it. Is it an inner corner? Yes. So, I want to do that. And then... I'm tempted to go with the island, but I want to keep this, you know, kind of... like... this. And then we'll go with the right end piece here. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think that it gives us our nice kitchen. I do want to make sure that the guy can get through here. So let me go back into live mode and tell him to come over here. Just to make sure that he can. Erwin, hello. How you doing, Win? You all right? Glad to see ya. Okay, okay. Yes, there's just enough space. Fantastic. Can you grab some food, please, dude? Oh, yeah. Oh, nice one. Okay. See, I'm also, because I'm thinking of making this like a getaway, I want it to be usable. I want people to be able to live in it as well as it looking abandoned. So, the fact that he can cook and eat and walk around in the kitchen is fantastic. That is exactly what I want. So going back into build mode. Rock, you'd be like, yes, we are, for 69 hours. When you're currently chasing a flying painting in Disney Dreamlight Valley, oh my god. I haven't played Disney Dreamlight Valley in, well, since not too long after it was released. To be honest, I kind of got bored of it. I got burned out on it, but I played it solidly for like a month. Every day for a month, I was playing that game. But yeah, I got a bit burned out on it, which is perfectly fine. You know, it's no one's fault. Not even the Romans. Definitely not even the Romans. Okay, so I do want to put like a ice box in here. So we'll do this one here. And I'll put it... I think I'll put it here. And then... fix that window. That was annoying me. So now it's fixed. And then we don't want, like, any kitchen appliances. I don't want there to be an oven or anything like that. Just because... yeah, I don't want to go too overboard with electronic stuff. So, the drink tray, I might go with the Cozy Hot Cocoa tray. There we are. On things that are like, a bit off the grid. So like, I mean, that's just a drink tray. It doesn't require electricity, which is fantastic. So that's good. When it's gotten a lot more entertaining since the updates, but you also get burned out on it. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I get burned out on The Sims. I mean, I play The Sims, or am doing Sims related stuff anywhere from 5 to 7 days a week. So I get burned out on The Sims. But when I do start feeling, I get that little brain fuzzy that is the warning sign that I'm getting burned out. When I do that, that's when I do like other things. So I keep myself from burning out by I play Fortnite on Monday nights instead of The Sims. Or I'll have like a special let's play such and such game. Let's play a different game every once in a while, for Halloween or whatever, and stuff like that. And that's how I keep myself from burning out. And I also make sure that at least once a week I play a completely different game, totally unrelated to The Sims, or life simulations. So like right now I'm playing, what games am I playing right now? I'm playing Fallout 4 and this really weird story-based exploration game where you play as like this UFO that it looks like a ball. It looks like a bowling ball or a cannonball, but it's your character, and you roll around and you fly, and you can squish yourself into a disc to fly farther distances once you get airborne. And it's like a science fiction story. As you go along, you learn about this expedition to Jupiter at some and it's a whole story around that, and it's a really, really good exploration game. Highly recommend, by the way. And so yeah, I've been playing that as well as Fallout 4. When you're burnt on the Sims community, not so much the game itself, but some people in the community are exhausting. Yeah, I understand. I know exactly what you mean. Definitely. I try to keep away from those people who are exhausting, if that makes any sense. There are some. I mean, I used to like follow probably about 200 different simmers on YouTube and Twitch, and I've dropped some of them just because they are constantly negative. And fair enough, I mean, I'll do the same. If I have something bad to say about The Sims or EA, I'll say it. But then I also say positive things about The Sims and EA as I come across positive things to say. I'm not completely 100% all the time negative, but these certain people, they just that's their whole thing, is they're negative about everything EA and everything Sims, and they just concentrate on the negative stuff, and that is just so exhausting. So I've dropped those people that are in the community. I just ignore them. I ignore them, or else I'm gonna get burned out on it. Rock, what if you gave me your mod download? Would I play with it? Yeah, I totally would. When you've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey for the past few days and you love it, I went through a stint where I played. My goal was to play every game in the Assassin's Creed series, as in like the main series, not the spin-offs, but the actual main series. And I got through 3 of them, and then I got burned out on it, so I stopped it. And there have been so many games, and I'm just like, maybe I should go back to trying to play through the entire thing. And just thinking about it, looking at how many Assassin's Creed games there are out now, just thinking about it makes my brain just go bleh, and I'm like, yeah, no, not happening. Rox, you can use channel points for it too. You could, yeah. Bees, I mean you're exhausting. You are not exhausting, Bees. You are not exhausting at all. When the community tends to doomsday about stuff a lot, and that's what exhausts you. Yep, same. So I try to ignore the doomsdayers. The constant doomsdayers. I try to ignore them. Bees, it's okay. I can say it's LGR. Rocky, you can set up some stuff for it, and then you can help me set it. Yeah, that would be great. Please do. Once you finish it, send it over, and we can play it together. When you have Black Flag and Odyssey because you're obsessed with Greek mythology and pirates. I think I've got Black Flag. I don't think I've got Odyssey. I haven't played it. I've not played Black Flag, but I do have it. I think I want to say I got it in a Humble Bundle or something. Rock, we probably wouldn't just have your mod on. We'd probably have simple voice chat as well, and Essentials mod, neither of which are hard to set up, just convenient for things like this, yeah. Voice chat for the voice chat and Essentials so you can friend me and invite me to a world for free. That makes sense, yeah. Completely makes sense. Okay. So that's the kitchen appliances. Wait, I need we do need a sink. But I don't want like a modern-ish looking sink. I want something that looks absolutely... Yes, here we go. This is about the best one that you can get if you're looking for a more... weird, for lack of a better word. You know, if you're looking for a more old style build, you need to have a sink in any build. So this from your camping pack is the best one that you can get, really. There are a few others. I mean, there's the pedal dance sink, but to me that still looks a bit too modern. There's also the galvanized sink, but again, that's more like 50s than the era that I'm going for here. I'm wanting to go for the whole thing with this is it's old, it's abandoned, it's been abandoned for like, in my mind, it's been abandoned for like, 30, 40 years. And the previous owners of this abandoned manor house were really, really old when they died, and the house went to ruin because they didn't have any heirs, and so it just became abandoned and run down. And there's the whole haunted bit of the story of this of it being haunted is that the old people that died here, they're ghosts, and when they died, they didn't want to leave, even as ghosts, so they still haunt the halls to these days. Your typical ghost story. Rock, you can do that because your mods need testing anyway. Yeah, you're not gonna wait till it's done because it won't be for a while, but it would be fun to play around on the current version. Oh yeah, we can totally do that. That would be fun. I think would you like doing that like in December, like over the Christmas months or Christmas holidays? What launcher do I use? I use CurseForge for modded Minecraft. Okay, so we've got that going on. Let me go into the MISC decorations. And I'm not gonna go for like a lot of major decorations right now. I am thinking, I love these dirt clumps, by the way. These dirt clumps are debug. They are really, really cool, and there's several of them. There's like 4 different dirt clumps here. They come from Jungle Adventures, but I love to use them in old ruined builds. So like I'll put a dirt clump there. Or like one here. There we go. So you notice this one didn't have a dig thing around it, where this one does. And this is a whole archaeology thing. So if you want to use these for decoration, you need to find the ones that do not have the dig spot, that bit around them. So this 4th one does, these 3 don't. So yeah, but I love putting these dirt piles around, even though your sim can use an can click on them and dig them up. It's still really cool looking for a general, you know, old abandoned style build. At least I think they are. You just want to like put them inside something like a countertop like this, so that your sim can't actually access it. If you don't want your sims to start digging things up, you know. When you have a love-hate relationship with CurseForge, same. Absolute same. I love using CurseForge for Minecraft. I have used CurseForge for Minecraft for absolute years. And I love it for Minecraft. For The Sims, don't get me started on CurseForge for The Sims. I like CurseForge for The Sims, but I hate CurseForge for The Sims because there is no tidying up of mods when it comes to CurseForge. In Minecraft, I don't care as much because I'll download mod packs and not individual mods. With The Sims 4, you have no choice. You download individual mods. There's no such things as mod packs for The Sims 4. And I wish that there was. Because with Minecraft, I'll download a mod pack. I will play in that world, in that mod pack, for a few months, and then I will delete the mod pack, and I will download another mod pack. That's how I play Minecraft. In The Sims 4, you can only download individual mods, and like I said, CurseForge does not organize them at all. So it's a bit of a pain in the neck. If I want to get rid of one mod by going into my mods folder in The Sims, and if you use CurseForge, it's so difficult. Toasty, hello, how are you? Glad to see ya. Ruck, if we're gonna wait that long, you'll wait on it. Just remember the idea, yeah. Because by December, it'll probably be more updated. That makes sense, yeah. Sim VIPs, which one is decoration? So out of these 4, none of them are actual decoration. They all work. So, like, for example, if I were to go into live mode and click on this, you notice that I can have my sim excavate it. But if I have him stop eating his chili, I want to see if he'll actually do it or if he'll complain that it's in the way. Okay, so you notice he's going straight towards it. I do not want him to go straight towards. I do not want him to actually excavate that. So yeah, your sim will excavate it if you click on it and click excavate, but it's still really nice, and I do like having it there. Remind me, I need to put debug items on top of this to keep the Sims from using that as a shelf. But yeah, I do like using this as decoration. Your Sims can actually interact with it, so it's annoying, but there you go. And I don't think that I can actually put it like deep enough in so that the sim won't actually use it. And I've got to be careful as well because it'll start, you know, clipping through the wall and stuff. Sim VIPs, your Sims can dig the pile. Yep, that is annoying with that, is they can dig in it. But it still looks really cool in an abandoned mansion, which is why I use it. So let's go back into live mode. When both as an actual as a modder, but as an actual like mod creator for The Sims, yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. I hear you on that. I really want to learn how to make mods for The Sims, but to do that, if I want to learn how to make script mods, I have to learn how to program. And I have tried learning computer programming, and I cannot do it. I can do the basics, but beyond basics, I just hit that brick wall and I cannot get over it or through it. So yeah, I've kind of given up with learning how to program, so I can't do script mods. And just can't do Blender either. I am not artistic. in that way. I can't do modeling, 3D modeling, or anything like that, so I can't do custom content in that way. So yeah, I'm a bit, unfortunately, I'm a bit stuck. But I've got that idea of like, yeah, I would love to learn how to make mods and custom content in The Sims. Toasty, you're playing Fortnite Lego and watching me. Aw, thank you for watching me. I appreciate that. And Fortnite Lego is awesome. Such a good game. Okay, so I am always tempted to put like Rex of cars in every single abandoned build that I do. It's like I could totally put a wrecked car here. And I want to. So you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put a wrecked car here. Just because. Just because I can. Sim VIPs, what is the one with the white border? So, oh wow, there's 5 of them. I didn't notice that. So the one with the white border, this one, there we go. This is what it looks like when they start excavating. This is like the first step of excavation. But even that, your sim can still excavate it. It's just the one. It's just the one with that has the excavation or archaeology square around it. Great if you want to do an excavation archaeology build. Not so good if you're going for abandoned, decaying, destroyed stuff. Rock, you're not artistic, but you are autistic. I mean, what? Symbi, sorry, Erwin, when you got the ads the moment I responded to your comment. And I can't remember what I said. Oh, yeah. About wanting to learn how to, about completely understanding the love-hate relationship between CurseForge, about CurseForge and The Sims 4. Yeah. CurseForge is great. Like I said, CurseForge is great. It's just, you got CurseForge for Minecraft, where you can download mod packs, and CurseForge for The Sims 4, where you cannot download mod packs, which is really annoying. So, yeah. And your comment about being both as a modder as an actual like mod creator for The Sims, I was saying that I would love to be able to create mods and custom content for The Sims 4, but I cannot do 3D modeling, so I can't do like custom content, and I can't do script mods because I can't program. So I'm kind of stuck there. I have to rely on other people for creating mods for me. Sim VIPs, where is the item from? Is that yeah, that's debug. So there are multiple ways of finding debug stuff. So the way that I do it is I will go Control-Shift-C. You have to enable cheats, and then you do bb.show live edit objects and bb.show hidden objects. And that will bring up a lot of hidden things. And then another thing that you can do is if you go into your search bar and you hit enter, you notice that my entire gallery catalog here refreshed. By doing that, you have to enable those 2 cheats, the show live edit objects and the hidden objects. And then by just clicking enter while you're in the search bar, that will bring up all of your debug items as well. Now, I used to have Twisted Mexie's Better Build Die mod, and that is why a lot of the debug items show in this as well, because since I had Twisted Mexie's Better Build By mod, and I didn't delete the files that it changes, or I haven't fixed the files that mod changes, when I do the show live edit objects and show hidden objects cheats, all of the debug stuff, it just automatically shows up for me in, like, you know, the miscellaneous decorations category and stuff like that. Which is a neat little thing. So if you don't like mods and don't like, or, you know, don't like custom content or mods, then you can, but you want access to all of the debug stuff without having to faff about too much. Yeah, you can get Twisted Mexie's Better Build By mod. Keep it on, you know, in your files for like a couple of weeks or so, and then delete the mod, but keep the files that it's changed as the changed file, and the debug stuff just continues to show up like it does in the mod. I do need to update that, though. I do need to get it back because we've had quite a few DLCs since. Hello, Paul. Since then. What are you doing? What is that? That's really good, Paul. It is very silly. You send it to me, mate. Paul is done Who Let the Dogs Out, featuring his the crazy Furby voice. And of course, he's renamed it to Who Let the Furbs Out. It's so good. It is so good. When CurseForge is great for Minecraft, you love the CurseForge system in Inzoi as well because it's in game. And yes, Paul, it is silly. Yes, you send it to me, mate, and I'll put it up on SoundCloud tomorrow. Is it sent? Okay, thank you, Paul. Yep, I know, mate. Yep, you did a crazy personality. Okay. Yes, I will try my best. You go and play now. Yes, I will. Okay, I will do that, mate. He's adorable, isn't he? Okay, so let me just go ahead. Also, these sand bits from the wedding stories pack is also great for when you want to mess up your builds. Just saying. Sorry, but yeah, Paul does remixes and covers on GarageBand, sorry. And he's just made Who Let the Dogs Out, a nice remix of that song. He's adorable, and I love him to bits. I really do. When you make makeup and career mods, you also can't do 3D modeling, but you're teaching. You're teaching yourself. Oh, that's awesome. Rug, just retexturing existing things mainly is how you've made yours. Yeah, that is a really good start at making custom content, is just recoloring and retexturing things that already exist in the game. Rug, even on Sims 4 Studio, more complicated CC still requires modding and model making. Yeah, it does. See, the stuff that I would love to mod into the game is stuff that requires, you know, being able to use Blender and stuff like that. And I'm just, like, not capable. I am just totally not capable of doing that kind of stuff. So, nah, we don't want an axolotl habitat. That just doesn't look right. So let me just go through here. We've got these tarot cards, which, to be honest, I am tempted to put some of them around the build, just like, you know, here and there. just to add a little bit of like storytelling. So maybe the people who used to live here were big into tarot, and tarot cards actually used to be a I think we'll put the whole deck there. Yeah, let's put the whole deck there. Tarot cards used to be a form of entertainment for people in medieval times. They didn't used to be like a divination device. They were like just a party trick, you know, a form of entertainment during parties and stuff like that. Some VIPs, you love tarot, and I used to do tarot decks, or read tarot, and I don't do it anymore. I got out of practice, and I just stopped doing it. It was so much fun though. I really enjoyed it back when I did it. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything else that I can use? I mean, of course, there's going to be things that I can use. The ship balustrade. Oh my gosh. So, you'll have to excuse me, but every so often, it's like I just come up with things to use and ideas. So it's like I could use this ship's balustrade up here as fancy fencing for up here. I want to call it a balustrade in real life. I'm not sure that's what it's called, but yeah. Oh, whoops. I'm not sure what I destroyed there. There we go. So if I get rid of all of this... I do this a lot, by the way. Like I said, I'll see one thing and I'll be like, ooh, that would look really good somewhere else. And I have to stop whatever I'm doing and use it in that spot before I forget. Because I will forget. So I'm going to put this all along here. Just because, like I said, I really don't want to forget to do it. It's gonna look weird, this bit here, but that's okay. I can hide that with plants or something. Or cobwebs or whatever, but it's fine. And I think I should also be able to carefully place it if the game will stop bouncing it around. Stop it. No. Stop it. Okay, you know what? Let's do it from this side. Let's do it this way. Sometimes the game doesn't know or understand what I want it to do. It's like, I want it to do X, and it's like, no, Muir, we are not doing that. We're doing Y instead. And then I'm like, but why, game? Why do this instead of what I want to do? And the game is like, because I am the boss. And then I get into an argument with the Sims game over who is the boss. So I ask you all, who do you think is the boss? Is it the Sims? Is it the game itself? Or is it me? Am I the boss? And the answer is, of course, a bit of a mix. Because sometimes you have to pick your battles. But tonight, in this instance, I am the boss. I'm just saying. Now, do I want to put that? No, I do not. Okay, that'll do. Sims should not be able to get through. Whoops, nope, not Y, Muir, not Y. Not you either. T. There we go. Sims should not be able to get through any of this spaces here. So we should be fine. It doesn't look really fantastic here with the banisters, but it's fine. It's fine. Those are the battles that you have to pick and choose. And I am decided that, you know, we're just ignoring that battle right there. We're ignoring that one. Okay. So, anyway, where was I? Yes, I'm looking for things and instances of things to use in this build, just to dirty it up a little bit in this room. We might actually finish this room tonight, by the way. Maybe. What time is it? It's about 10:15. Okay, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I don't think we're going to finish this tonight then, but we are going to get pretty close, I think, to finishing this room up. Now, like I said, I do want this room to be usable, so I want to make sure that if I put things down, that it doesn't impede on the line of you know, the corridor that I want them to access. So, like, for example, I want him to be able to access the sink. I want him to be able to access the icebox and all of the doors and this. And basically, you know, anything else that, most of the things that are usable on the counters. So any dirt or rubble that I put down is gonna have to be moved around so that it doesn't impede on pathfinding. Very important thought. If you want your builds to be usable, you need to keep pathfinding in mind. And I'm going into I'm going strongly here into Muir guide Muir version of me here. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so what else should we put in here? I'm thinking this Nectar Country cask. That's going to be a really nice thing to put in here because it's not usable. You know, you can't actually use it, but having a barrel up here to make it look like, you know, they have storing drinks and stuff in here is good. Right, what else? Let's see. Clay pots is definitely... Is there a cracked version? No, there is not, but that's fine. I'll put the cracked pots there. I'm trying to keep this oldish, you know, like early 1900s tops era. I don't want any too new stuff, you know. I mean, the sink is a push, but it's forgivable because you gotta make certain things, you know, make do in The Sims. I really wish they would come up with a proper medieval pack for The Sims, though. I really do. It would be so cool. We got this barrels prop, which will be, oh yeah, that's nice. I'm just gonna put that here in this, next to the window, whoops. Right there. And then take this junk and move it a little bit more there. If you do want old-fashioned things, Get Famous pack. The Get Famous pack is seriously an awesome thing to have if you like your old-fashioned stuff in The Sims. It sounds weird, but there you go. We do have these broken bits of pottery that I think would work really nicely. Ooh, let's see. I really wish this worked, by the way. The cooking campfire kit. It is a outdoor replica, but show you outside. Look at that. How cool would that be if it actually worked? I mean, that would work. That would look really nice in an in an actual old time fireplace like this. But unfortunately, it doesn't work. So I'm not going to use it. Now I am going to use these plates of infinite potential and put them up on the shelf here, just so that it uses up some of the slots here on this immaculate shelf. Because I don't want my Sims to, like, you know, use things to be able to put things up here. So if I can find any tiny debug things or things that would look right in the build, then yeah, I am 100% going to put them up. I am thinking also of using this storage crate because it does look old and battered, and I'm just picturing, you know, this being like a place where you would store things like potatoes and onions and root veg. That looks like a really nice place to store all that kind of stuff. Let's see what else we've got real quick. That music is gorgeous in the background, by the way. It's Epidemic Sound is what we're listening to, by the way. Binaural Beats music list. It's just so relaxing, and I'm didn't used to be into binaural beats type music, but I found that when I'm doing, you know, like building in The Sims, it really, really helps with, you know, like getting you in the zone. And it's just so relaxing and chill, which is kind of like my vibe, except for when I'm playing Fortnite. I don't think I'm very chill when it comes to Fortnite. Rock, what about Pogger type music? Is that like Eminem? Would you class Eminem as Pogger type music? So we do need a bin in here just because, and outside, just because of, like I said, how the game works. So we'll take this big bin here and we'll just put it outside, like right here. And then I'll take a little bin and put it indoors. Hold on, I got an itchy nose. There we go. So we'll just put like this wooden one from Snowy Escape and just stick it somewhere. I'll put it over here. There we go. And we need lighting. Now, I am looking... Rock, you would class young poggers as pogger type, literally. Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. How could I forget about young poggers? I mean, really? How can one forget about young poggers? So I am gonna put a few wall lights in here in the kitchen. I'm not gonna do well, I might do a ceiling light, but only... Oh wait, off the grid. Yes, 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 yes. Forget that one. I want off the grid. So, like this one, the Chalice of the Dead Candle Sconce. Definitely want that. So, yeah, I am gonna put some candles and such around here in the kitchen. I might put a candelabra. A candelabra? Anyway, I'll put a ceiling light in as well. Candelabra. That's the right pronunciation, right? I think. Rock, how can you forget? It's not like he only has one real song that I've heard maybe once. Cody I can never pronounce your last name either, Rock. I'm so sorry. On the other hand, whoever that guy is, he has 3 songs. This is true. Yeah, yep, yep. Uh-huh. I'll agree with that. Don't feel bad about me not being able to pronounce your last name, Rock. It's because I can barely pronounce my own last name sometimes, so don't feel like you're left out or anything, you know? The Ironworks Chandelier is what I want, but I don't want the short version. I want the long version. What pack is that from? That's from Horse Ranch. That's the medium. Where's the... Is there another one? Why? Aha! Ironwork Chandelier long. That's what I want. Oh yeah. That's definitely what I want. Perfect. Very nice. So now there's plenty of light in here, and these are all off the grid because they're candles. So, that is fantastic. Ruck, don't feel bad at all. 99% of people can't pronounce your last name. You're used to having to pronounce it correctly for them and then spell it out, because if you just pronounce it, they think it's spelled Frazee. Okay. I always just want to say that it's pronounced froze, as in, like, you know, froze cold. Augie, welcome in. How are you doing tonight, Augie? You okay? Glad as always to see you. Okay, so now, real quick, I want to do decorations. And actually, you know what? I'm thinking we will leave it here for tonight, because I do want to finish off our book. And I do need to take a quick comfort break. So we'll finish our build here for tonight. When we come back next week, we'll continue and get this room done, and hopefully one other room. So, Rock, most people think it's pronounced like froze or frozy or freeze, but it's fray, not fro. I'll try to remember that. You might have to remind me again, but I will try to remember. Right, my friends. I will be right back. Give me 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Welcome back, everyone. Right, let me save the game. I think we've done a really good job tonight, though, to be honest. Rock, you can't believe when Muir comes back, it'll be time for 6 to 9 hours of Fortnite. Stop it. Some VIPs. Wow, that was quick. Yeah, I'm usually like, uh-oh. I'm usually very quick. Please don't. I haven't saved. The game scared me then. The game 100% scared me. I hate when that happens. But yeah, I'm usually really quick when it comes to my breaks. Some VIPs. Do I have MCC? No. No, I don't. Used to, but I don't anymore. So let me do a wide angle view of the kitchen here. Take a quick screenshot. Now, next week, I'm hoping to be able to add like a little bit of dirt to the back and the floor of this makeshift fireplace, you know, the bespoke fireplace, just to make it look even dirty, you know, just make it look old and used and dirty, and all that wonderful stuff. But I'm to be honest, I am quite happy with this. This looks really good. I'm very proud of that. I am definitely very, very proud of my bespoke fireplace. Some VIPs, you've got autosave on MCCC, yeah. That's like one of the things I miss most about that mod. I need to get back with mods. Augie, hello, hello. You're great, just chilling in the hotel after going to the playhouse. I'm glad that you're having a good time. How was the play? Was it good? And thank you so much for the 6-month with Prime Gaming resub. Appreciate that, my friend. You are seriously awesome. So let me quit out. And Augie, you were just in time for our bedtime story. Are you ready? Are you ready for our bedtime story? So for those of you who are like, what are you talking about, Muir? Every Monday night, we read a bit from a public domain book, and we call it Muir's Weekly Bedtime Story. But since we are so close to the end of this book, and I want to finish it before Halloween, we are actually finishing the book this week. So I've been reading a little bit every night, and tonight is the night we're finishing Man in the Brown Suit by Agatha Christie. 100%. Augie, it was a talk on manners? Was what? Was it? And why is my game hanging up? Oh my, have I actually put that much in that lot that the game is not liking it? Probably. It's fine. Augie, let's go. Yes. Rock, Augie's just in time for 6 to 9 hours of Fortnite. Rock, and let you guess, the next thing I'm gonna read is Dungeon Crawler. Oh my god, I wish I could. I so wish that I could read Dungeon Crawler Carl live on stream. I would really, really love to be able to do it. But there's this pesky thing called copyright. And I don't think I could get permission off of the author of Dungeon Crawler Carl to read his books on stream. Opting, you're betting that the butler did it. No, we've already determined that the butler did not do it, in fact. It was the government person. B, do Lovecraft next. I might do some are there Lovecraftian short stories? Because we might do that over Halloween. Rock, Do it when it goes in public domain. So in like 100 years from now. Somehow I don't think that's happening either. Okay. B's, most of Lovecraft is short stories from magazines. Oh, nice. Yeah. Then we'll do a bunch of short stories leading up to and including Halloween. Augie, you were just about to say Lovecraft would be great over Halloween. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. McLeod, hello. Welcome back. Okay, so let me just refresh my music and make sure that it's still going. Yes, it is. Are we ready for stories? Are we sitting comfortably? Because we are starting. We left off, by the way, in the previous stream with the dropped bomb, the bombshell that Harry Lucas is actually John Harold Erdsley. Let's finish the story and tie up all the loose ends. Rock, another idea for... We've already read Frankenstein live on stream, Rock. And Dracula. It was a while back, but there you go. Opting, was he a butler? No, he was not a butler. Rock, yeah, we have, yeah. You weren't interested, though, and I think for story time back when I was doing it, during the day, you would always leave those streams leave the streams at that point. Because you were like, I have to read these stories in English. Why should I listen to you read them, Muir? Yeah, it was the daytime streams, Rock, yeah. Opting, did he buttle in his spare time? I don't think so, no. Rock, when it was like 3 a.m. for you, yeah. And you're like, no. I'm going back to sleep. Augie, you bet he buttled with the best of them. Possibly. You never know. Okay, anyway, chapter 35. With his last words, Colonel Race had swung away and left us. I stood staring after him. Harry's voice recalled me to myself. On, forgive me. Say you forgive me. He took my hand in his, and almost mechanically, I drew it away. Why did you deceive me? I don't know that I can make you understand. I was afraid of all that sort of thing, the power and fascination of wealth. I wanted you to care for me just as myself, for the man I was, without ornaments and trappings. You mean you didn't trust me? You can put it that way if you like, but it isn't quite true. I'd become embittered, suspicious, always prone to look for ulterior motives, and it was so wonderful to be cared for in the way you cared for me. I see, I said slowly. I was going over in my own mind the story he had told me. For the first time I noted discrepancies in it, which I had disregarded. An assurance of money, the power to buy back the diamonds of Nadina, the way in which he had preferred to speak of both men from the point of view of an outsider. And when he had said, my friend, he had meant not Erdsley, but Lucas. It was Lucas, the quiet fellow, who had loved Nadina so deeply. How did it come about? I asked. We were both reckless, anxious to get killed. One night we exchanged identification discs, for luck. Lucas was killed the next day, blown to pieces. I shuddered. But why didn't you tell me now, this morning? You couldn't have doubted my caring for you by this time. Anne, I didn't want to spoil it all. I wanted to take you back to the island. What's the good of money? It can't buy happiness. We'd have been happy on the island. I tell you, I'm afraid of that other life. It nearly rotted me through once. Did Sir Eustace know who you really were? Oh, yes. And Carton? No. He saw us both with Nadina at Kimberley one night, but he didn't know which was which. He accepted my statement that I was Lucas, and Nadina was deceived by his cable. She was never afraid of Lucas. He was a quiet chap, very deep. But I always had the devil's own temper. She'd have been scared out of her life if she'd known that I'd come to life again. Harry, if Colonel Race hadn't told me, what did you mean to do? Say nothing. Go on as Lucas. And your father's millions? Race was welcome to them. Anyway, he would make a better use of them than I ever shall. Anne, what are you thinking about? You're frowning so. I'm thinking, I said slowly, that I almost wish Colonel Race hadn't made you tell me. No, he was right. I owed you the truth. He paused, then said suddenly, You know, Anne, I'm jealous of Race. He loves you too, and he's a bigger man than I am, or ever shall be. I turned to him laughing. Harry, you idiot. It's you I want, and that's all that matters. As soon as possible, we started for Cape Town. There, Suzanne was waiting to greet me, and we disemboweled the big draft together. That's a sentence I never thought I would read, or say out loud for that matter. When the revolution was finally quelled, Colonel Race came down to Cape Town, and at his suggestion, the big villa at Moisenberg that had belonged to Sir Lawrence Eardsley was reopened, and we all took up our abode in it. There we made our plans. I was to return to England with Suzanne and be married from her house in London, and the trousseau was to be bought in Paris. Suzanne enjoyed planning on these details enormously. So did I. And yet the future seemed curiously unreal, and sometimes without knowing why. I felt absolutely stifled, as though I couldn't breathe. It was the night before we were to sail. I couldn't sleep. I was miserable, and I didn't know why. I hated leaving Africa. When I came back to it, would it be the same thing? Would it ever be the same thing again? And then I was startled by an authoritative rap on the shutter. I sprang up. Harry was on the step outside. Put some clothes on, Anne, and come out. I want to speak to you. I huddled on a few garments and stepped out into the cool night air, still and scented. With its velvety feel, Harry beckoned me out of earshot of the house. His face looked pale and determined, and his eyes were blazing. Anne, do you remember saying to me once that women enjoyed doing the things they disliked for the sake of someone they liked? Yes, I said, wondering what was coming. He caught me in his arms. Anne, come away with me, now, tonight, back to Rhodesia, back to the island. I can't stand all this tomfoolery. I can't wait for you any longer. I disengaged myself a minute. And what about my French frocks? I lamented mockingly. To this day, Harry never knows when I'm in earnest and when I'm only teasing him. Damn your French frocks. Do you think I want to put frocks on you? I'm a damned sight more likely to want to tear them off you. I'm not going to let you go, do you hear? You're my woman. If I let you go away, I may lose you. I'm never sure of you. You're coming with me now, tonight, and damn everybody. He held me to him, kissing me until I could hardly breathe. I can't do without you any longer, Anne. I can't indeed. I hate all this money. Let Race have it. Come on, let's go. My toothbrush? I demurred. You can buy one. I know I'm a lunatic, but for God's sake, come. He stalked off at a furious pace. I followed him as meekly as the Rosky women I observed at the falls. Only I wasn't carrying a frying pan on my head. He walked so fast that it was very difficult to keep up with him. Harry, I said at last in a meek voice, are we going to walk all the way to Rhodesia? He turned suddenly and with a great shout of laughter gathered me up in his arms. I'm mad, sweetheart, I know it, but I do love you so. We're a couple of lunatics, and oh, Harry, you never asked me, but I'm not making a sacrifice at all. I wanted to come. Augie, have we read Dracula? Yep, we read Dracula, I think it was last year, or possibly the year before that. I can't remember exactly, but I know we've read Dracula here on stream. Ruck, you read Frankenstein in your, junior year of high school, you think? So, 2 years ago, and you feel the daytime streams were longer ago than that. Yeah, they were. They totally were. And no, you've never read Dracula. Dracula is really good. Bees, how unfortunate to have the name Race. We had game night, but we had game night, but every turn he was playing race cards. Oh, Bees, I like it. Ruck, you feel like... Yeah, I did, yeah. I think we did Frankenstein during the... Or I read Frankenstein during the daytime streams and read Dracula during one of the night streams. So, the night streams, when we read Dracula, I want to say was about 2 years ago. If I'm remembering correctly. Ruck, but for God's sake, what? What? Alright. Chapter 36? If I'm reading Roman numerals correctly. That was 2 years ago. We still live on the island. Before me on the rough wooden table, is the letter that Suzanne wrote me. Dear babes in the wood, dear lunatics in love, I'm not surprised, not at all. All the time we've been talking Paris and frocks, I felt it wasn't a bit real that you'd vanish into the blue someday to be married over the tongs in the good old gypsy fashion. But you are a couple of lunatics. This idea of renouncing a vast fortune is absurd. Colonel Race wanted to argue the matter, but I persuaded him to leave the argument to time. He can administer the estate for Harry, and none better. Because, after all, honeymoons don't last forever. You're not here, Anne, so I can safely say that without having you fly out at me like a little wildcat, love in the wilderness will last a good while, but one day you will suddenly begin to dream of houses in Park Lane, sumptuous furs, Paris frocks, the largest things in motors and the latest thing in perambulators, French maids and Norland nurses. Oh, yes, you will. But have your honeymoon, dear lunatics, and let it be a long one, and think of me sometimes comfortably putting on weight amidst the flesh pots. Your loving friend, Suzanne Blair. Rock, I read "For goodness sake, come," and you were like, that sounded funny. Okay, Rock. Okay. Bees love instead of money? The audacity. I know, right? You wouldn't hear of that in this day and age, would you? P.S. I'm sending you an assortment of frying pans as a wedding present and an enormous train of pâte de foie gras to remind you of me. There's another letter that I sometimes read. It came a good while after the other and was accompanied by a bulky packet. It appeared to be written from somewhere in Bolivia. My dear Anne Bedingfeld, I can't resist writing to you, not so much for the pleasure it gives me to write, as for the enormous pleasure I know it will give you to hear from me. Our friend Race wasn't quite as clever as he thought himself, was he? I think I shall appoint you my literary executor. I'm sending you my diary. There's nothing in it that would interest Race and his crowd, but I fancy that there are passages in it which may amuse you. Make use of it in any way you like. I suggest an article for the Daily Budget, Criminals I Have Met. I only stipulate that I shall be the central figure. By this time I have no doubt that you are no longer Anne Bedingfeld, but Lady Eardsley, queening it in Park Lane. I should just like to say that I bear you no malice whatever. It is hard, of course, to have to begin all over again at my time of life, but entre nous, I had a little reserve fund carefully put aside for such a contingency. It is coming very usefully, and I am getting together quite a nice little connection. And by the way, if you ever come across that funny friend of yours, Arthur Minks, just tell him I haven't forgotten him, will you? That will give him a nasty jar. On the whole, I think I have displayed a most Christian and forgiving spirit, even to Paget. I happen to hear that he, or rather Mrs. Paget, had brought a sixth child into the world the other day. England will be entirely populated by Pagets soon. I sent the child a silver mug, and on a postcard declared my willingness to act as godfather. I can see Paget taking both mug and postcard straight to Scotland Yard without a smile on his face. Bless you, Liquid Eyes. Someday you will see what a mistake you have made in not marrying me. Yours ever, Eustace Pedler. Harry was furious. It is the one point on which he and I do not see eye to eye. To him, Sir Eustace was the man who tried to murder me, and whom he regards as responsible for the death of his friend. Sir Eustace's attempts on my life have always puzzled me. They are not in the picture, so to speak, for I am sure that he always had a genuinely kindly feeling towards me. Then why did he twice attempt to take my life? Harry says because he's a damned scoundrel, and seems to think that settles the matter. Suzanne was more discriminating. I talked it over with her, and she put it down to a fear complex. Suzanne goes in rather for psychoanalysis. She pointed out to me that Sir Eustace's whole life was actuated by a desire to be safe and comfortable. He had an acute sense of self-preservation. And the murder of Nadina removed certain inhibitions. His actions did not represent the state of his feeling towards me, but were the result of his acute fears for his own safety. I think Suzanne is right. As for Nadina, she was the kind of woman who deserved to die. Men do all sorts of questionable things in order to get rich, but women shouldn't pretend to be in love when they aren't, for ulterior motives. I can forgive Sir Eustace easily enough, but I shall never forgive Nadina. Never, never, never. The other day I was unpacking some tins that were wrapped in bits of an old daily budget, and I suddenly came upon the words, "The man in the brown suit." How long ago it seemed. I had, of course, severed my connection with the daily budget long ago. I had done it with it sooner than it had done with me. My romantic wedding was given a halo of publicity. My son is lying in the sun, kicking his legs. There's a man in a brown suit, if you like. He's wearing as little as possible, which is the best costume for Africa, and is as brown as a berry. He's always burrowing in the earth. I think he takes after Papa. He'll have that same mania for Pliocene clay. Suzanne sent me a cable when he was born. Congratulations and love to the latest arrival on Lunatics Island. Is his head dully sorry, I can never read this word. Dolichocephalic or brachiocephalic. I wasn't going to stand with that from Suzanne. I sent her a reply of one word, economical and to the point. Platycephalic. The end. So if you need a reminder of what these words mean, thank you so much, Opting. Let's do a little bit of glossary learning for tonight. So, dolichocephalic means having a relatively long skull, typically with the breadth less than 80% of the length. Brachycephalic means having a relatively broad, short skull, typically with the breadth at least 80% of the length. And the third platycephalic means having a flat or broad head, or being flat-headed. So there you go. Basically, yeah, let's think of like, oh my god. So Merriam-Webster, the image that Merriam-Webster gives on Google. Let me show you, because this is hilarious. So the image that Google gives when I search for it is this. Lemurs. Lemurs are platycephalic. They have a flat head. I like it. Opting, and that's the whole book. I didn't miss a page. There you go. There's the last page. Surely there's a page in there that deals with the butler and his culpability. How about a butler in a snowstorm? Is that... Rocket's missing the last page where all the characters pogger at each other. Bees, for context in the era this was written, people believed in phrenology, the idea that the shape of a person's head determined their sanity or criminal nature. Yes. Yes. So, yep, the last page is a butler in a snowstorm. Just in case y'all didn't know that. I don't know. Let's see then. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, please go to the Internet Archive. Gosh darn, it's not going to let me go through the back door. Never mind. Rock. I'm coming out of my cage, you hear as I'm running up to you trying to do the emote when I stand still. Oh dear. Alright, so we want to look up Lovecraft, don't we? Lovecraft. Texts. Subject. Oh wow, there's a lot here. Okay. Um what would you all like me to start with? H.P. Lovecraft, creator. There we go. And yeah. Rock whichever one is the most pogger. So, I mean, we could start off with the most popular one for this week, which is Graphic Classics. Let's just take a look. Bees, you suggest Shadow over Innsmouth, The Dunwich Horror, Dagon, Call of Cthulhu, At the Mountains of Madness, and Color Out of Space. Okay. So let's see. What is this one? This is Graphic Classics H.P. Lovecraft Volume 4. And it's got quite a few. Oh, look at that. That is awesome. Bees, yes. I'm just seeing if there's any in here that is your that is any of the ones that you suggest. But no, that is so cool. Sorry, I'm getting carried away here. All right, so if we literally search some of these, so Shadow over Innsmouth. Although we've got Tale of H.P. Lovecraft major works here. And then if I search for that one specifically, yep, there we go. There we go. We got that one there. Bees, Shadow over Innsmouth, Dagon, and Call of Cthulhu are aquatic horror. Dunwich and Color are surreal circumstances. Mountains of Madness is adventure. So pick your theme. Okay, that makes sense. So let's see. Is there a... What do we have here? Call of Cthulhu is in this one. Dunwich Horror is in this one. Shadow over Innsmouth. So this is a few of the ones that you mentioned, but we'll start with Shadow over Innsmouth, shall we? And we'll do... Okay, so that is an audiobook. We don't want audiobook. I want specifically a text. We definitely don't want to listen to an audiobook because I am the narrator. Bees, every time you comment, the ads play. Rock, we don't want audiobooks. We want Muir books. I like it. I like it. Okay, so if I go with this, and we do Black Seas of Infinity, which is the best of H.P. Lovecraft, then that should work. Or we've got the Lovecraft Anthology, a graphic collection of Lovecraft short stories. Let's go with this one. Graphic collection of H.P. Lovecraft short stories. And we'll, like I said, we'll go through this one, and it's got quite a few good ones, and we'll try to get through as many of them as we can between Monday and Halloween. How's that sound? I just want to take a look at this real quick. So this is a scan of the book. We can go to one page view to make it easier to look at. Limit. Aw, I have to log in. Okay, let's see. Can I come up with better ones? Let's see. Internet Archive books. Am I gonna have to okay. Yeah, is it gonna be mean and make me like log in? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Cause websites hate me. Yeah. Gosh darn it. Published 2016. Published 2014. Oh, this sucks. This sucks. It's not gonna let me. Aha. Aha. That's slightly better. That is slightly nope, nope, it's still gonna make me. It looks like the only H.P. Lovecraft books I can get are ones that aren't completely in the public domain, that have been published recently, which so sucks. So sucks, let me tell you. Let me look up again Lovecraft public domain. And see if I can get a hold of it that way, or if it's going to be really, really mean to me. Bees, you should warn Ruck. Why do I look on Internet Archive? Because Internet Archive is the best place to find books that are in the public domain. I mean, I could just do a quick Google search as well and try to find Lovecraft public domain books. So 1928 are automatically in the public domain. Ooh, here we go. Actually, wait. Aha. The electronic text of H.P. Lovecraft works. That's better. That is definitely better. Oh, wow. Look at all of that. Holy cow. He wrote a lot, didn't he? He wrote a lot of stories. That's cool. Opting. You linked that just as soon as I found it, didn't you, Optin? I love it. These, you should warn me, it's none of the ones that you suggested, but one of the stories that he wrote, yeah. It does have the N-word because that was the name of his cat. Oh dear. He was also quite, racist and misogynistic, and H.P. Lovecraft was not a good person. But his stories are just, our modern day horror genre came from him. A lot of it, him and Edgar Allan Poe. And neither one of them were good people. Uh, but yeah, we will definitely start with one of these. So let me save this to my bookmarks bar. Story time. There we go. And get rid of that one. Okay, all done. Optin, you linked that a while before I found it. I was just blind and didn't notice it. I am so sorry. But thank you for linking to it, Optin. I probably saw it out the corner of my eye, to be honest, and which, yeah. You get the credit. I will completely give you the credit for it, Optin, 100%. Rock, no, he linked it slightly before I found it. Optin, ages before. Back. I will give you all the credit, Optin. How's that? Rock, if Muir just read the chat 1 second earlier. 100%. 100%. Right, everyone. It is that time. Shall we go and give someone an awesome raid tonight? Who is streaming, by the way? Do we have any good streamers to go and raid? Asking for me, really. To go and raid. Shut up, Passmere. Let's see. Who all is online and what are people doing? Okay, The Sims 4 is doing live at TwitchCon, but we're not going to raid The Sims 4 because reasons. How about Augie? Nikki Chops is on. Oh yeah. There he is. What does Nikki do? Minecraft. Shall we go and raid Nikki, who's playing Minecraft? Ruck, raid Muir. He's playing 69 hours of Fortnite. Past Muir. That was Muir from 0.2 seconds ago. Yeah, past Muir. 100% past Muir. Okay. Anyway. Thank you all so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Augie, thank you so much for the resub. And now let's go and find, once I find Nikki, let's go and give Nikki Chops an awesome coffee raid. And I will see you all Monday, 8 p.m. UK time with Fortnite. And then Friday of next week with Sims 4. Don't forget, no Wednesday and Thursday stream next week because real life is busy. It's fine. Okay, let's go and raid. I'll see you all Monday. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye.